Educators know that professional knowledge and skills aren't developed and sustained by working in isolation. We need to interact with other practitioners who can both support and collaborate with us to help maintain our professional status. This is true for teachers, administrators, technology specialists, and in fact, for everyone who works in education. Developing and maintaining a personal learning network, or PLN, is an essential endeavor for all of us in the teaching profession. Simply put, a PLN is a group of people who share in a common practice, who collaborate and support one another through advice and sharing, and who work together to address problems of practice. Thanks to the increasingly ubiquitous access to the World Wide Web, we can now access experts from around the world, distilling their expertise via various knowledge pipelines, and coupled with our own personal research, can share our knowledge and experience with a much larger network than was possible during the times of BW3, or before the World Wide Web. In a previous life, I was the only French teacher in my school. My PLN was made up of the Spanish teachers who taught next to me, who provided great support, in addition to the other teachers I looked to for general teaching knowledge. Unfortunately, no one at my school could provide the level of support I needed for my content area. Today, my personal learning network is supported by a variety of web-based social media technologies and includes all kinds of people from around the world. So, how can you get started? While there are no specific guidelines for how your PLN is constructed, it is important that you begin building your network to support your needs. My advice comes from experience conducting professional development workshops for more than 20 years. During that time, educators would ask me, "How do you discover all these cool tools?" or "How do you know that?" My response was often from my personal learning network. First, identify someone you know, someone you respect, and who is informed in their discipline, where they get their ideas. Who do they follow via social media tools? How do they discover new information and new ideas? Start with a single individual. Second, after you've identified an education leader in the particular domain you're interested in, identify a single social media tool to begin accessing information to feed your PLN. For example, you might choose to use Twitter to access small nuggets of information or advice from a noted educator or organization. Initially, you may use a social media tool as a lurker, someone who accesses a feed or a blog post from an individual or an organization, but doesn't comment upon nor engage with the author of the information. As you become more confident in your use of social media tools, you might begin to share your thoughts and ideas by commenting on the information you gather from one or more sources. In this way, you're moving from the role of a lurker to that of a contributor. For example, if you've ever paid attention to the comments following a blog posting, you may have noticed how they sometimes resemble a conversation. Consider engaging in that conversation by making a comment that responds either to the initial blog posting or to a comment made by another reader. At the same time, pay attention to those individuals who comment often and what they say. This is a technique for identifying other education leaders whom you might choose to follow via Twitter or their own weblog if they have one. The process of developing your personal learning network using social media tools will gradually propel you from the status of a lurker or an inactive, as depicted here, to that of a creator, publishing your ideas via a social media tool and in turn being followed by other practitioners. The third type of social media I suggest for creating your PLN combines the two previous social media as well as others to create an online community around a topic of interest. Online communities, specifically online communities of practice, are another source of information and support for personal learning networks. An online community offers a number of the resource types discussed earlier, including blogs, Twitter feeds, discussion boards or forums, and resource repositories. In addition, they offer something more than the sum of the various social software technologies. They create a virtual space for ongoing interaction with other like-minded individuals, where collective learning occurs through interaction and the creation of new resources, tools, and ideas. Such is the case for a new community coming online in the spring of 2012 called EPIC Ed. EPIC stands for Empowering Innovative Communities in Education and is currently under development by the Consortium for School Networking, a professional association for school district technology leaders, and the Friday Institute for Educational Innovation at North Carolina State University. Funded by the United States Department of Education, EPIC Ed will support schools and districts who are planning or implementing ubiquitous computing environments. This means classrooms in which every student has a web-enabled device. EPIC is being designed to serve the needs of 4 particular audiences you see depicted here. They are teachers, administrators, chief technology officers, and instructional technology facilitators. The community will offer specific resource and opportunities like web conferences and asynchronous discussions for each audience. EPIC will be open to all educators, not just those who are implementing ubiquitous computing environments. Registration is free, and once you've created your community profile, you can begin to connect with other educators around the nation. EPIC Ed will include a variety of social media tools and features, including those you see here. Educators from across the nation will have the opportunity to learn from and learn with practitioners who share similar interests and challenges. If you'd like more information about the development of the EPIC Ed community, or if you'd like to become a part of our community when it launches in spring of 2012, send an email with the subject line EPIC Ed mailing list to the address on the screen. Personal learning networks are a way of thinking about how, as education practitioners, we can leverage the World Wide Web to stay informed and to customize our own professional development experiences, both formal and informal. In conclusion, keep in mind the following as you begin to build your personal learning network. Remember that you decide which resources and tools make sense for your professional growth.